Hello everyone. In this video, I will talk with you about jobs in civil engineering companies and how to prepare for them. Now, after sitting for multiple civil engineering related companies and finally getting selected for one, I think now I have some knowledges to share with you that I will do with this video. So this video will be useful for those people who are going to sit for civil engineering related companies, their interview and their selection process, or those people who are already sitting for civil engineering related companies interview and are not able to crack them. So I will be dividing this video into 4 parts. In the first part, I will be discussing with you which are the companies and for what roles and positions do they hire for. In the second part, I will be discussing with you how is the job life, location availability and salary and its progression in the company. And in the third part, I will be talking with you about degree and experience requirement for job. And in the fourth part, which will be very important for all of you, is what do they ask you and the entire selection process. So stay tuned in the video and let's start the first part. Like I told you, in the first part, I'm going to discuss with you which are the companies and for what roles do they hire. So if you see what are the companies we have in the civil engineering domain, like in India, and those companies also operate in abroad countries also. Like we have Larsen and Toubro, L&T, we have KEC International, we have Apcons Infrastructure Limited, we have Saporji Palonji Group, we have Ashiana Construction Company, we have Tata Power, we have Tata Projects, we have Tata Consulting Engineers, we have SCC company, we have MN Dastoor company, we have ITDC Cementation, we have GR Infra Projects Limited, we have Nagarjuna Construction Company, NCC, we have Reliance Industries Limited, RIL, and there are multiple companies. And there are some companies also in the public sector undertakings like PSU, but for them, you have to go through some exams like GATE, ESE or SSC, JE or other exams. About preparing for those companies, you can watch videos about GATE and other exams. But here in this video, I will talk more about preparing for private companies that generally come to your college or you apply to them off campus like that. And now what roles do they hire for? Like in civil engineering related companies, majorly the roles you have can be site role, you have your entire job at site, or can be office role also, like you have your entire job at office, you are doing some planning or you are developing some design, or your role can be some combo role, like means sometimes you have to go to site, see the conditions, and on the basis of that you have to design a particular structure or whatever the company wants from you. Like it can be combo role also. Some roles can be said in other ways, like a construction engineer, planning engineer, the engineer who will be in charge of doing the entire planning, like what work to do on what day, and how much works are getting accomplished, making a report of that, like making daily progress report, other things. So planning engineer, you have a billing engineer also in construction company, you have design engineer, you have structural engineer, you have concrete engineers. Engineers will be very specialist in making concrete and further enhancing the properties of concrete. You have QA/QC engineer, the quality assurance and quality control engineers. Those engineers actually check the entire concrete and other aggregates, whatever you have in the entire plant or entire construction project. They will be checking them, they will be checking their quality and making report from that. There can be roles like surveyor, and there are multiple roles available. These are the roles. So now we are done with the first part, like which are the companies and for what roles and positions do they hire for. Now let's start the second part. How is the job life, location availability and salary and its progression in the company. Like in most company, you will find Monday to Friday regime is followed in all companies. But in some company, you may have duty on Saturday and Sunday also. But generally on Sunday, you will find like you have a roster availability, which means that if there is some urgent requirement, then only you have to go to the site or to the job location. Otherwise, you can enjoy your Sunday. Otherwise, Monday to Friday and Monday to Saturday is a normal job regime in companies. But the time vary from place to place, so or company to company. So I wouldn't say anything on the time, like from 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 or 9 to 7. It varies from place to place, even it varies from project to project. So I wouldn't say anything on that. Or yeah, if you will be having a site role in a company, then the company will most probably, and in 100% or 99% cases, they provide you the accommodation at the site. They will be having some plant, or they will be making taking care of your accommodation. But if you are having the job at office or head office or anywhere, then you may have to take care of your own accommodation. So this is about accommodation. And about location availability. Location availability, like if you are going to sit for any company, then company generally doesn't give you location availability, but they may give you some choices, like whether you want to go for North India projects or South India projects, like that. This is also not confirmed that they will be giving you this choice, but they may give. And other choices about location, generally they hire for the pan India location, so they don't give choices, but they may give like this North India, South India, or any project, but not confirmed. Now about salary, how do salary varies, and what is the beginner level salary. Like if I talk about the salary that trainee, like the beginner gets, like in construction related companies is around 5 to 7 lakh per annum. That may be a little less or little more than this, but generally around this range only the salary lies. And the roles the engineers or the trainee engineers get is GET roles, like graduate engineer training. They'll be having the fresher roles, and after working for a year, or maybe a year, or depending upon your performance, the engineer GET will be promoted to senior engineers, and further assistant engineer or assistant manager, depending on different companies. Different companies have different career progression. So, but this is overall, this is the roadmap. Like, means from GET you will be becoming senior engineer, then assistant manager, or like that. And one point to note is that in civil engineering companies, you have a good progression in career once in your career, once you get some real skills in the industry, because here skills matter. At the very first, when you're joining, you don't have actually much skills, much practical skills. What you have is maybe you have theoretical knowledge, but if you go and work in the industry, and when you have acquired some knowledge, then your worth will be really big, and your salary will grow exponential, unlike in software fields where you have to be very challenging also. Means every day you have to learn so many new things. But in here in civil engineering domain, you have to be just confident with what things are already going on from so many long years. There may be some new software coming, but you don't really have to be very versed in those softwares. Means there are lots of people who will be for those softwares only. So, and those softwares are limited also. This is an advantage in civil engineering domain that you don't have in software related companies, where you have to be very challenging, and at any place you may be asked to leave the company because the job may be done by artificial intelligence, or the means you are incompetent, like that. But here you will be always competent, unless means provided you have learned the skills. And about the job life in PSUs, the job life in PSUs are a kind of government jobs only. And you will have good salary. Along with good salary, you will have good perks and additional benefits also. So about those, you can watch in any other video on internet. Now let me talk about your degree and experience. GT roles, like companies, they generally hire like BTech candidates, or like, means, yeah, for GT roles they generally hire BTech candidates, and for some technician role they may hire diploma candidates also. Now, degree and experience do matter. Now, let me tell you about how is the placement process, how is the selection process of these companies. You must be knowing that these whatever companies you have in the market, they recruit engineers through two ways. They may have either, means they may directly come to your college or your institute, that is called on campus, or otherwise they may just release their requirement on the internet, and you will have to apply, like apply on their website. This is called off campus. So if companies are coming to on campus, then they know that this student is studying in this particular college. So students are not expected to have much experience, so they will be allowing freshers also. But this is like in on campus. But in off campus, you better have to have some experience. Only then you will have an age. And generally also, if a company means they announces some requirements, some vacancy, then they in the eligibility they write like this much experience you should have in the industry. So these are the way, like, means how degree and experiences matter. If you are going for the company in the on-campus process, then your experience doesn't matter. Your experiences matter in terms, like, means what internship you have done, but your job experience doesn't matter. But if you are going to sit for companies in the off-campus, then your experiences, your job experiences matters. That too vary from companies to companies, and from particular vacancy to vacancy, like that. You can see. Now coming to the fourth part, which is the most important part, like what do they ask you in the entire selection process. For most of the companies, they generally conduct some aptitude and technical round test, where they will be shortlisting you for further round of interviews, and this happens either online or offline. And for some companies, they may just take your result, take your CV or resume on the basis of that they will shortlist you for the interview round. So here I will be sharing with you some of the things, like some of the means some of the um, behavioral aspects, some domain knowledge. What are the most important domain knowledge you should have to sit for these companies. So starting with the first part, like, means the first thing you should always keep in your mind, that I have learned from my experiences also, that you have to be very patient in listening what they are asking, because sometimes you already have a preassumption of what they will ask, so you are better prepared with that. But no, you have to listen them very clearly and speak, and you have to tell, just tell what they are actually asking you. You have to be very strict about telling whatever they are asking to you, only that much. So this is the first important thing. Now second important thing, your introduction. They generally ask for your introduction, so you should have a good introduction prepared with yourself. I am now sharing a very a good introduction format with you. You can make your introduction like this, and whatever introduction you are making, your introduction should be well written, and it should be well practiced. Yeah, it should be, it should be very confident and bold, because this is the first thing you will be first introduction you will be having in the introduction. So with the interviewer, so this will be very bold. So let me give you one example. Like you should be introducing like this: my name is this that, I am from this that place, I have done my schooling from this that place, I have joined this college in this year, and now in this year. After that, you can include your internship experience, like I have done internships in these companies in for this much time and have learned these things. After that, you can include like what hobbies you have and what are the extracurricular skills you have. After that, you can include what management and what responsibility you have showcased in your career. These things you can include, and with this you can just conclude. This is a very simple introduction format. You can build your own, but this is very simple. You should do anything like that, but anything you do should be well practiced. It shouldn't be like, means you are saying my name like that. Means it should be very bold. After that, coming to the means your what the questions will be asked in interview. In civil engineering related company, you have most of the questions are asked from some topics that I will be sharing with you. And before that, I would also tell you, like, means whatever you write, you have written in your resume or in your CV, you have to well prepared with that, because the interviewer may start with your resume first. Like what hobbies you have written, you should know something about your hobbies. You should give examples like these games I play. If you have written anything, you should be better. Means whatever you have written should be you should be very truthful about that. And what skills or what strength you have written, you should be well prepared with that. And you should be very okay, means whenever they ask you to present something out of your strength or skill, then you should be able to do that. Now coming to the most important chapters in the civil engineering, which are generally asked in civil engineering related companies, and the interviewer also expects that you'd answer them questions from those chapters. Sometimes they may give you some this opportunity that you tell your own favorite topics, and they will be asking from those topics only. So if you have a very good knowledge in some topic, then you can easily say that. But if you don't have, then the chapters I am saying in the order of their importance. Like the first chapter I would tell is actually the most important chapter, and interviewer generally ask from means they will always ask from that chapter and the other chapters also. So let's start. The first very important chapter for civil engineering related companies is building materials and concrete technology, which includes like knowledge about building materials like aggregates, sand, stones, and the different testing, bricks, steel properties, cement properties, taste on different aggregates, concrete properties, ways of mixing concrete, design mixing of like mixed design of concretes, its rule, cement, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate proportion for common grades of concrete like M20, M25. You should be means you should remember all these things. Different tastes on concrete, some other properties like workability and how concrete is prepared on site, role of admixture, plasticizer, etc. This is the most important subject for freshers entering construction industry. After that, you can study surveying topics, you can study contouring, the basic surface knowledge you should have. After that, you can study foundation engineering, just basic of foundation engineering, like what type of foundation we prefer, and when do we prefer what type of foundation, like shallow foundation or deep foundation. How do we choose when we'll be preparing a foundation, like on the basis of soil properties, bearing strength of soil, and also on the basis of load coming, the entire load of the building. And after that, you can study geotechnical engineering or soil mechanics, like compaction, consolidation, or some basic, like basic definitions from these chapters. After that, means after you have studied this building material construction technology, surveying and contouring, foundation engineering and geotechnical engineering, then you should go for design of concrete structure. Here also you can study the basic things you find in this subject. Then you can study construction planning and management, like how the tendering process is done, what do you understand by contract, different modes of contract, like contract like BOT contract, some EPC contract. These things are industrial thing, and the interviewer expect that the joining should be having this knowledge. Then if you're done with this thing, then you can study design of steel structures. Whatever you can study, means you should have a basic knowledge, at least a basic knowledge, so that if anything is asked, you can just give an approach. Then you can study transportation engineering or highway engineering, have a basic knowledge about that, like what are the different roads, what are the different layers of road. Very important question that the interviewer asks: different layers of road in the vertical profile, like you have the sub base, you have the, on the basis of, like means you sometimes you have rigid pavement, sometimes you have flexible pavement. So those things you should have a basic knowledge about these things. After after you have this knowledge, then you can study structural analysis. Quite means even this is something not easy chapter. You need some depth knowledge, but if you're done with all the things, all the chapters I have told earlier, then you can study this also. And you should always have some knowledge about the Indian standard codes of practices which are adopted in doing the different tests and for different properties. These are I would say very important for interview. Even you can be asked anything out of these that I have discussed, but these are very important, and these are most of the time interviewer would ask you questions from these things only. So like I have told you, these are the very important things. You should at least prepare these things, and after that you can prepare anything you have, but at least prepare these things. And I am sure if you follow these things, then you'd be getting qualified. You'd be able to crack the civil engineering related company in the least number of attempts. I hope you like this video. If you have anything more to share with me, then do comment, and share with your friends also, whom you think that they also require to have this knowledge. And if you like me to make videos on any other topics, then you can also write in the comment. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day.